Hello, I'm Charles Blair. I want to address a topic here of coding in the dental office. You see, we dentists going through dental school had almost no coding experience. So we have, in effect, a dentist going into a practice with no coding experience. They now hire someone with no coding experience. It's the blind leading the blind. Or even if the person at the front desk does have some coding experience, do they have 20 years of coding experience, or is it 1 year's experience 20 times? Today, folks, we are faced with a lot of codes. There's almost 500 codes. There's a lot of nuances. I find that offices leave $100 to $500 a day on the table by not reporting coding properly, and in many cases they're also engaging in fraudulent practices. Now, most dentists think they can't be touched on coding. They think lightning will not strike. But I do want to tell you that lightning does strike, and coding is very, very serious. It's important for the team, for the doctor, to have some coding training. You need to get that somewhere. Naturally, I'm biased. I think that you should get my coding manual. The coding manual has an in-depth look-see at each of the codes. It has a tremendous index, and I think what sets my manual apart from any competition that would be out there is that we have this huge index where you can look up the codes such as Maryland Bridge, Monodont Bridge, Snap-on Smiles. Would you even find that in any of the other coding manuals out there? Another is the tips and narratives and so forth. So you do need a backup. You need something that you can read. One of the advantages of my book is I've worked with over 4,000 offices on coding, and I do have that as a consultation that's available for you. But the book itself has 40 in the back, a 40-question quiz, and this 40-question quiz are the top codes and the top coding errors that I've seen in practices. So you don't have to read that 300-page of boring information necessarily. You can go to the back, you can look at those 40 questions, have a group staff meeting, and then you can determine where you are making some coding errors. One final thing is you also need a newsletter. The book is a reference guide, but there is an Insurance Solutions newsletter. Vicki Anderson is the editor of that. I'm the publisher, and this is a tremendous coding resource. The advantage of the newsletter is it has a lot of administrative topics in it, plus in-depth look-sees at the codes. For instance, it can talk about a given plan, that the plan now covers an extra prophy. If it's a diabetes patient, who would know that? Also, it brings up administrative issues such as what happens when an insurance company a year later wants money back on a crown and they say that the patient really wasn't eligible at that time. Do you have to give the money back? Can you keep it? How do you handle that? What about primary and secondary insurance? It's very rare for a dental office to be handling that properly. So folks, you do need the coding manual, you do need the insurance newsletter.